안녕하세요. 저는 에미입니다. 저는 재정입니다.
안녕하세요. 저는 스티븐입니다. 저는 조이민준입니다.
This is ranking K-pop boy group debuts.
The first one we're going to start with today is it is something we both haven't seen.
I've seen a little bit of this band, and I think I know what their debut is, and I think I may have heard the chorus somewhere, but I haven't actually watched the song or listened to the entire song. So, this next band is,
Pentagon.
and their debut song, Gorilla.
Gorilla.
Because we've not watched it, I will also be uploading the entirety of this as a reaction. Gorilla. I heard that part.
I was kind of really let down in the introduction part with this song.
Yeah, I mean, you got to see their faces,
I mean, there is a lot of them though.
and that's the other thing. Because there are a number of them. Also, I did like the fact that in the viney kind of thing, they were in a pentagon. I liked that touch.
I did make up for it in certain parts with the introduction at the very end when they were actually showing all their faces in the light. So there was bits and pieces in there where you could say, ooh, who was that?
Yeah.
They weren't...
I kind of lost track at who was
Who was who?
singing and who
Yeah.
was...
They
I think the thing is that the two main rappers that I saw, I'm sorry, I really only know two members' names from Pentagon, and I didn't even see who Hui was. I couldn't pick out Hui. I could pick out Dawn. That was because I know him, and there was him, and there was the other one of the other guys who were like the
But
main
even
rappers.
then, it
But
was
other
still...
than that, I'm like, I don't know who sang those high notes. It was
Yeah.
really dark.
The whole video was dark.
Like, there were slight parts where they were in the light and you're like, oh, okay, cool. But then also, none of them really
I mean, there was
stood
part...
out.
Not 100% they didn't stand out. There was
No.
moments where people
Yes.
stood out.
But then
But that
it
was
moved
it.
on so quickly. And you're just like, wait. And again,
Yeah.
it's because they have a lot of members.
It is because of a lot they have members, but I still think there is ways that they can do it that you would get to enjoy it more.
Yes. And there are other bands that have a lot of members
That do that.
do give them more time
I
to
would,
shine.
because we're just going off
Yes.
this debut song as a debut song.
Yes.
And it wasn't, to me, it wasn't up to scratch in the introduction at all.
No.
I think it was a 4. It was too dark. You didn't get to see who was singing.
I feel bad.
I can't be more worse than that, really.
I mean, I'd put it as 3.5. Because you did get to see some of their faces. But again, they came back to... And I think that's because there were a couple people who were singing and doing more than the rest. But it kind of felt like they were going... We've got so many members. But these three...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just so dark.
It was.
It was so dark. And they had parts with them in the light, which I thought, okay, cool. So you're going to do like the moody aspects and then seeing more of the members, which they just didn't do.
Alright, music. I think the music was outstanding.
I really liked the
I
music.
loved the music. It was probably the thing that kept me in it the most. Was the music, to be honest. Because it was so catchy and funky. Probably like a 7.
You see, I liked the music, but it wasn't...
It was so overpowering.
Yeah. And it was the same.
Repetitive.
So I would have gone a 6.
Okay, there you go.
And don't get me wrong. Like, don't get us wrong. We do love what we've heard otherwise from Pentagon, like Shine. But we also don't really know Pentagon too well.
And this is our
the
first...
moment.
This is honestly our first time reacting to this.
Yeah.
And we're giving you our honest opinion. We're up to visual. I rank this quite low. It was just too dark.
It was, you couldn't really see anything.
No.
Visual wise, like, I will give points to the creativity
Yeah.
of putting them in a pentagon.
I think
And they've got different sections. Like, it wasn't just the one thing.
the creativity for
But-
the whole entire song was amazing.
Yeah.
But
And, like, the lighting was good, but it was just way too dark. Like, the pops
the
of
lighting
colour.
wasn't good.
No, I mean, like, the laser lightings looked cool. But,
certain stage of lighting looked good.
yeah.
Not the
So-
lighting looked good. Certain
No,
stages
it was
of
just
lighting
really
looked good.
dark.
Yeah. I'm gonna go like a 4.
Purely because of the creativity of the Pentagon, because I freaking loved that. 4.
Dance. Now they did a lot of dancing in this, and it was exceptional. I think the music and the dance were probably the highest points, but unfortunately, the lighting made watching the dance very difficult.
This is gonna sound so bad. I really don't remember any of the dance.
Because it was so dark.
It was so dark. Okay.
Like, I can remember that.
Like a gorilla. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean, it's there.
I think their dancing was on point.
Yes.
And when I was watching it, I was watching their flow as well. And
Yeah.
their
in sync.
in syncness.
Because they've got a large amount of members.
I would probably give it a 7. Because the rest of it was just too dark. That is flawless. And their movement is just amazing.
Yeah, I'm happy with a 7.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Lyrics.
I have really great agility.
It's so corny.
When I see you, there'll be an earthquake in my eyes, like boom, boom, boom.
It's so corny. I liked the way it was done in Korean.
Yeah. I just think that the English translation is just, it's a very kiddie song. But it's done when it's in Korean, and the whole music video is done in a way where it's like, but we're not children. Like, this is,
Yeah, no.
you know what I mean? Like, it's very young. Like, this is aimed for the younger, like, pre-teens, I think.
I think
Which is good.
I think it was for teenagers, yeah. I think this would be this is kind of a perfect debut song, lyrically. Because it reminds me of the fun and playful side and wanting to get to know them more. Probably go an 8.
Go 7.
7?
Yeah. It's that high because it flows in Korean.
Yeah. Oh, the flow was amazing.
Yeah.
Memorability. So this one's difficult for us to rate.
No, and again, I said that I had heard a bit of this song before, and the only thing that I'd heard and gone, I remember, is Gorilla, Gorilla.
And I haven't even heard that.
So it's really not that... Like, again, we don't know Pentagon very well, but if you say Pentagon, we go...
Huh?
Dee-dee-dee, dee-dee-dee. At least I do.
I don't even remember that, really.
So,
It's
but
not
again,
until you...
for a debut, I just don't think it's memorable.
Oh, I think I'll remember it short term. Oh, 100% I'll remember this short term.
Do you think you'll remember it in a month from now?
Probably not. But that's long term.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, because this is our first listen, do you think you will remember this song? Because I don't think I will.
I do, actually. I think you would. It is extremely catchy.
Even right now, all I remember is like a gorilla, like a gorilla.
It's
Like,
see,
I
this
couldn't
is
even remember the dance. Like, for me, this is like a 2. I just don't think it's memorable. And that could very well be because it is not aimed towards me.
I'd go a 5. I can't wait for this. Gravity. Oh yeah.
Break all the rules.
Intro. A little disappointing.
You did get to see
It
their
was-
faces.
And sometimes who was singing, not all the time.
Not all the time.
So I'd probably go a 6.5. Because once again, there was parts in that song where it was just dark and it was skipping between scenes real fast. And sometimes it was focused too much. Like with the rapper in the flower field. Like just that particular scene. It was
Yeah.
music. Now, when I first listened to this, and I can remember that, I wasn't in love with the music at all. But now, listening to it, I was thrilled. Once the chorus kicked in,
Yeah.
and that music popped, and I was just like, whew, damn. Like, it was just
Yeah.
absolute fire. It fit perfectly into this category for debut. I'd probably give it a 9. I would loved it that much, the music. Because if that came on the radio, it would change my mood instantly.
I'd probably go just a little bit under at an 8.5.
It flowed so well,
Yeah.
and it wasn't the same.
No.
Visual.
My boy looks so cute.
The costumes, the makeup, they were all spot on.
I like what they did with the little splashes of colour though.
Yes.
It was
They did have
a
some
bit dark.
They did have some black and white moments though, where I was just
they
like,
had a lot, and they had the other little bits popping in and out.
I was getting annoyed with the whole flash.
I think there's a little bit too much because like I wanted to see more of them.
Yeah, exactly. And especially for a debut video, you want to see them. I would go a 5 because I didn't get enough time to see their faces. It was dark.
I'd put it as a 6 because it was dark, but it wasn't overly dark, and the effects that they put in to it, I really loved.
Yeah.
It was just a little bit too much of like the exploding cubes and stuff like this. Like that was a little bit much, and there was a little bit too dark in some places.
I'm gonna go for a 9 for their dance.
That was so good.
There were so many instances where you were watching them dancing and you were just like, give me more. You wanted more from their dance.
Yeah.
You want, like, that's a solid 9.
Yeah, 9.
9?
9.
Lyrics.
It's heavy.
It's too heavy for a debut.
But it also puts more, that's why it was dark, and that's why that's where they were in the music video.
Yeah, but that's not what you want.
Makes it into more sense of why the music video was that.
Like, it's too heavy for a debut song. Realistically, it for a debut song, it's heavy.
But the music isn't heavy.
No,
And it flows differently in Korean,
it does.
which is, again, what we're trying to factor in.
It's like a political statement as well. I want to be getting to know you. I want to be getting to know your personalities, and I'd probably go a 6 for this. Because if it was about breaking all the rules with the K-pop world, that wouldn't change this entire. I would change my entire thing on the lyrics. It would make it so that it would be like a 9.
If it was more of a break all the rules,
Breaking
society's
all those standards for K-pop.
standards for teens.
Yeah, but it's not.
I get that. I'd probably give that a 6.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Memorability. Unfortunately, I didn't remember.
Didn't remember that this was.
Yeah.
All I could remember was, I know that their debut should have been My Turn or Cloud9.
Yeah, that's what I remember as well.
Listening to it, I'm like, no rules, but I'm gonna forget that.
Honestly, I'm gonna go a 1. Because I don't remember this as a Gravity song. I don't remember this song at all.
A 1.5. I do remember a bit of it at the moment, short term.
I'll probably want to listen to it now.
Better than we remember. Again, I mean, just let us know what you rate these as well. This is just our personal opinion. We have absolutely nothing against these idols, these groups, these companies, nothing at all. It's our personal opinion, and we're being very nitpicky. That is it for this video. I hope that you liked it. If you did, you know what to do. Kirby face.
안녕.